get it, and that's exciting. Plus, Metroid Prime is phasing.
Hmm.
It's my favorite of the trilogy.
I could like I'm like a toss up between 1 and 2. I think those are great. I don't like 3 very much at all.
Yeah, 3 had cool stuff, but overall, I enjoyed 1 the most, pound for pound,
Hmm.
moment to moment as well, and like the negatives in 2 and 3, I feel like kind of those memories come shine to the forefront more. Like 2 with Echoes, I remember like love the the white suit, um
The light suit.
the light
I think
suit.
is that it?
Yeah, the light suit.
Yeah.
The light suit is one of the cleanest Samus designs ever, but I also remember how bad little end of game puzzle like hidden thing was, and
You
how
know,
much that felt like Triforce pieces.
I feel genuinely like I'm the only person in the world, because every time I talk to somebody about Metroid Prime 2, I have this exact like discussion. When the game told me to go get those artifacts, I had already gotten all of them but 2 or 3.
Wild. That's so
Because
unusual.
I was like just scraping the earth as I went.
Yeah.
And so me going and getting the remaining ones took like 10 minutes.
It do it's an experience akin to Triforce pieces in Wind Waker. Like it's a flow breaker, man. You know.
No, just break your flow on purpose before.
But
Bring the flow to a horrible crawl for most of the game, and then the end will go really smooth. Obviously.
the other thing too is, while all the music is fantastic, the music in 1 is also the most memorable to me.
Hmm.
You know, um, every like all that stuff over time. Whenever I play like Metroid Prime music in my head, I'm thinking of fucking Fedrana Drifts, and I'm thinking of the Temple of the Chozo, and
Yeah.
the title screen, all that shit. So
I
yeah,
also remember people complaining that like a full half of Metroid Prime 2 is this very dark purple. Um,
it is. The Dark
and
World is really, yeah, it's true. It Light World, Dark World,
and
right? You're doing
like
it.
I'm also on like this alternate plane where I'm like, that's my favorite color. So every time I went to the Dark World, I was like, oh, sick. I love this place.
Yeah, I love me some purple too. That's one of my faves as well. Only thing is Light World had more variety to it
It did. Yeah.
than just dark and purple,
Yeah.
Shadow World. So you gotta get. Anyways, the that's all cool. What's not cool, however, is yeah, just one of these things that you kind of like see from time to time is like the original um, designer, senior gameplay engineer, Zoid Kirch on Twitter basically was like, "Hey, awesome work on the remaster. That's super cool. Kind of
Fucked up
sucks.
the doors.
Kind of sucks that they took everyone's name out of the credits."
Oh, that too. Yeah.
And they just put it all in a single card that says based on the work of Metroid Prime.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
that sucks. Just put it in.
come
Wooly,
on,
okay. I
man.
I know you have worked on games before and you've been in the credits and you've also been excluded from the credits.
Sure have.
And I genuinely like, maybe you can solve the last piece of the puzzle. Credits and putting people's names in a list does not seem to be the most work intensive part of making a game,
No.
because you're putting people's names in a list and
Yes.
it scrolls.
Yes.
Why is it so contentious over and over and over to not include people for whatever reason?
Because some people, oftentimes the really egotistical producers and people who are making the final call, will use credits as a dick measuring opportunity to, exclude people they particularly don't like, to use it as a means of getting back for people over drama in certain situations. If someone did some work but they got fired or left under particular circumstances that were not amicable,
So it's
people
all
will.
we're always workplace politics, basically. Like
Workplace
just
politics is 100% of the reason why you see that. 99% if you want to say, you know what I mean? Like that's what it comes down to. There's stuff where it's like sometimes you just have that bit where like, oh yeah, there's super long credits or whatever, but then you put a speed up button, right? No, whatever.
yeah.
There's 45-minute credits for some Ubi and EA games and out there. So, you know, meh. Workplace politics very often, if not always, is the thing. And the definition of that, I will say, extends into the shame of crediting a QA team that was outsourced, right? That the person, again, the people that are egotistical and whatnot, they look at a bunch of names of people that they don't know because they worked on the game elsewhere. And if you're not in the office with me and I don't know your name and I don't recognize your face, it doesn't really feel like you worked on it. You know, you guys don't count. Plus, it looks bad that we had to go take our game and hand it off to other people for assistance on QA. So we look a lot more clean if we can just put one logo amongst the many that says, hey, VMC Labs, Babel, keywords, whatever. You know, they did some stuff. Who knows? What are they, the codec guys? Did they do they license some of the sound effects? Cool. All right. Yeah, sure. Soft deck, codec, testing, you know, and you just hand wave it. Or you even sometimes arrange and pay for your package that says no credits whatsoever. We'll just stealth you guys as a secret thing, you know, perhaps because we don't want some people to know about how the budget was spent. Perhaps we don't want to leave an impression, but it always comes down to these politics, right? Someone might look and see that you hired the team that you weren't supposed to but you needed help because your game was falling apart and your internal team that you assured the higher ups would be able to take care of things was not able to take care of things, right? But it always comes down to this. Yes.
That's
It's
so
bullshit
stupid.
every time. Every
It's
time.
so stupid because like no one but the people in the credits and the friends of family of the people in the credits care about credits. So any even potential of like, oh well, we have to make the credits go faster. I'm like, you mean the thing 99% of people skip in the first place? Like, no, it's just a nice little bonus for the people who worked on it to see their name represented as a part of the communal effort and be like, ah, look, hey,
Yes.
there I am.
And it goes on your resume and you can say, hey, I did this
You
shit.
can
And
prove
like,
it.
you know, I mean, most of the time you can just have it on your resume anyway. And you can, you know, like that's going to be verified very quickly. But in some cases, if someone is particularly curious about something and they want to go look that shit up and like, who was the person that was in charge of, the original score on Death Stranding? Oh, Ludwig Forssell. Who's that? Okay, let's go check that out. Like, you fucking just, you know, every artist gets a chance at a signature on the work that they fucking put out. It's real simple. So yeah, it's just a shitty attitude, man. Like almost every time, because it's a list of words. It's the easiest thing in the world, you know.
Well, Wooly,
So yeah,
sometimes correctly crediting people for their work is not the easiest thing in the world. Do you have the news story about The Witcher this week?
I don't. But I was just gonna say last bit that, you know, we talk about how a couple of times, like I've been credited sometimes, I've been credited, and I've been, you know, not credited sometimes. There are like, I would say 9 times out of 10, but it's really more like 29 times out of 30
Okay.
I get uncredited on the work I've done. There
That
are
sucks.
like there are so few games that I have credit on versus the hundreds that I've worked on. It's incredibly in the minority. You know, in some cases I understand if it's a short term of work where it's like, you touched it for a couple days, and it's like, yeah, I get that. That's fine. But there's shit I've worked on for a while. Many projects that are just like, nope. You know, and you can go in the database and you can see the names of everyone who entered their shit and see how many things they entered, and you can look at the contributions just by sorting by name, you know. But yeah,
Are you
this
sure
is
you worked on it?
nah. You know what? Turns out I didn't. Just went through it, saw nothing. What is happening? With
So
the
sometimes it's hard to credit people for their work. So The Witcher 3 recently got re-released with a next-gen version on PC and the consoles, right? The news article from Eurogamer, which I went through a bunch of them to find the phrasing that I like the best, is, quote, CD Projekt Red confirms it's working to address the inclusions of realistic vaginas in The Witcher 3.
oh yes, I did see that story. Yes, I was trying to link it to the credits thing, and I couldn't
Well,
I couldn't
there's a
find the
part.
segue.
So that turns out there's tons of super highly detailed pussy textures
Yeah,
that
yeah,
were
yeah,
added
yeah.
in the next gen release that they're like, huh, how'd these get here? Huh, that's weird. Merging mods is complicated. There's a lot of stuff going on. I guess we must have missed it. Except moving on to Witcher 3 Vagina Modder claims that CD Projekt Red used their mod without permission. The modder alleges that the Witcher 3 studio added their, quote, vaginas for everyone, end quote, mod to the next gen game without talking to them.
Okay. So this is one of those definitive edition using the community
So,
expand community mods, but they didn't do it their own version. They
yeah.
literally
So there was a lot of, they integrated some gameplay mods, they integrated some visual mods, and some texture mods to the game to clean it up. And they were, you know, it was like, hey, the community, we implemented some of the most popular mods from the community, yada, yada, yada. Well, apparently someone at CD Projekt Red snuck in the Vaginas for Everyone mod, either on purpose or by accident, into the merged mod pack
I will
without telling anyone or asking the mod creator for permission.
who
I can
says
tell
I
you
will
for a certain,
I will not be denied my coochie credit.
I will tell you right now, when they gave me the game, and I also had the list of mods that they included, Vaginas for Everyone was not a listed mod as a community mod that was being included. So shame on you, CD Projekt Red, for not crediting this vagina modder.
No. Coochie credit's real. You gotta, you know, call it out. Someone worked hard on the strip. There you go.
Oops.
Wow. I mean, priorities though, right? So I guess prior to that, everyone like it was just like a mannequin Barbie doll naked.
Well, yeah, because there's like naked human looking women that are a horrible monster, like Bruja, right? Like vampire ladies. And they just didn't have like visible genitalia. And then all of a sudden people noticed a little while ago, like, huh, that's weird. Fighting a lot of monsters with fat pussies. What's up with that? Weird.
Is it a lot of monsters? Is that where the mod went to work? Yeah.
I believe it gave like vaginas to every applicable character that it would be appropriate for. So all monsters that are based off like the human woman template, just pussy them up.
Damn.
Even the crones, even the horrible freak crones. That
Just
was
gonna-
not needed. If you want to look this
feels-
up, feel free to
yeah.
type in any of the things that we have said now, and you'll be able to find it.
It's like the credit got snatched away.
Sure did.